Welcome back to Fair's Fair, where I upload regularly. Sort of. Today I want to talk about a word I pretty much never use, and for good reason. The word woke. It's used in a lot of videos and reviews, so much so, with so much disagreement over it, that every one of you no doubt thought of a definition. Either quite similar or wildly unrelated. It's partially because of the disagreement that I don't use it in my reviews and discussions. So let's tiptoe around this topic and see if I can avoid making any statement that can be twisted into a political stance. First, we'll need to know what woke even means in the context of media reviews. Which is part of the problem because there isn't a lot of consensus on what it means. There's a full spectrum of definitions spanning the extremes. From the people who think so much as mentioning the word in a pejorative way will spontaneously legalize slavery and launch all gay people into the sun, to the people who think that modern media that so much as features a single diverse character is secretly beaming sissy cuckold hypnosis into their brain due to an awkward awakening that they haven't come to terms with, originating from when they saw a fetish video as a teen, otherwise known as the synthetic man approach. To be absolutely clear, I don't dislike progressive or woke writing, I dislike bad writing. So what do media reviewers mean when they say something is quote-unquote woke as a negative? The competent reviewers, not him. Probably something around this. Writing that prioritizes the commentary or message over good writing. Writing intended to fulfill a wish or preach a belief as a foregone conclusion or simple solution, rather than make a more measured commentary on it, often providing forced references for the sake of the reference rather than the sake of the story. That last one is also known as tokenism. If I were to wager a guess, this would be about how reviewers like Rags or Critical Drinker would define it. My biggest criticism to level at them for this is that the unsure definition makes it harder for people who don't know their definitions to know what they mean by it. I would hope that people would look deep enough to understand what they meant, or at least recognize the valid points they raise, but we all know people don't look that deep into things. I personally don't want to invite the easy out of assuming my stance based on my use of one word, and the way to counter that would be to explain what I mean every time I say woke. But if I have to do that, then I might as well just explain the issue rather than use the word at all. On the other side, people say it simply means progressive writing that critiques society or includes diverse representation. And funny enough, no matter what your societal commentary or diverse representation may be in the story, your writing can still very well be bad. I'm all for progressive ideas and representation, but if you write it like shit, then you'll likely not only wreck your story, but the message too. I pointed this out as it happened in my High Guardian Spice review. Yep, we're back to that. That they flubbed Caraway's reveal as trans. They had a character that could have been the self-identity storyline. They could have brought Caraway's transition in later as we followed Snapdragon's journey. A person who had similar questions about identity for themselves, who could offer guidance for Snapdragon towards whatever they end up deciding. Maybe he'd decide to just be more effeminate. No matter what, Caraway's guidance could help him find who he wants to be and bring that realization to his father with a steeled assurance. But the reason that the Caraway reveal was such a prime example is because they didn't wait. They had to get that in early, front and center, not part of the journey of a character who actually has a journey, but all on his own. This screams of either arrogance or impatience in cramming this fact about the character in, regardless of the story. Especially when you remember, if the mental block around the trauma of being exposed to that show lets you remember, that they called the main character into that room to discuss some very important points about her issues, direction in education and as a person. But no, instead she got exposition to about Caraway and never got back to the reason that the main character, and subsequently the audience, was there in the first place. Just brushed it off as, she'll just focus on swordsing. Not a joke, that's the literal word she used. Swordsing.
I figured out my focus. What is it? Swordsing. Gonna swords it up.
Nothing about her tendency to rush into a fight without considering her well-being or the situation, which she displayed. Nope. The writers threw away the story and the main character's development in favor of slamming in the token trans character. The writing equivalent of setting off explosives under the train tracks to celebrate how pretty the station is. You understand that your overzealous celebration of the face of your project has undermined the purpose of it, yes? If all I did was hate progressive or representative works, then I wouldn't like Arcane. All of you go watch Arcane. Now! It's female-led, has a manipulative white man in a position of power, social commentary on classes in society, LGBT plus representation, at least the L or the B, and yet it's fucking great! Go watch it, or I'll steal your fucking kidneys! The original Mulan, female-led with a focus on breaking from tradition and how overly conservative views can limit your thinking. Fucking great! The remake? I don't hate the remake because it's female-led. I hate it because its message is that people can do great things if born with superpowers. Thanks, movie. If the inspired girls of the world or I develop superpowers, we'll keep that in mind. How about the insane idea to make a movie where you portray the bad guy as so comically evil that their end goal becomes almost indecipherable? I know that it's easy to have someone do evil for evil's sake, but your villain somehow forgetting that the whole world being nuked would be bad for him and his son's health is just stupid. I don't care if the world is being nuked. You know your son lives on the world, right? Along with you? What? You've made the bad side wrong in a way that I can't believe anyone would choose it. If the main villain's goal is to acquire a rare painting inside of a building, the decisions have to make sense as a means to reach that goal. Carpet bombing it and the orphanages next door to it, yes, it's more evil. That doesn't necessarily help them achieve their goal, so why would they do it? Not the inspirational media you were going for, I'd imagine. These things were not criticized because they were woke, they were criticized because they were bad. I want to see all the cool ideas in your story, the class separation commentary, the measured ideas about markets, representation of people and identities. But don't decorate your ship by tearing pieces off the hull. Make sure that the decoration is built into the hull. That way your story, the means by which you are carrying these things across, floats. I hope that's made my stance on things clear. This script was longer, but I branched into other topics and eventually decided that they would be better as their own video, or videos. So worry not, the time was not wasted. But let me know, do you use woke? What does it mean when you hear it? Do you think I'm on point with my stance? Way off? Or on a more uplifting note, what well-written progressive elements or representations do you know of? Let me know in the comments below as you like, share, subscribe, and follow me on the platform formerly known as Twitter. But if you think I'm secretly an extremist beaming sissy hypno into your brain, then explain how you figured it out. But only explain it so long as you be entertainingly angry.